Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan enjoys wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude Denton. And this is our WWE Backlash review show. And we're also introducing a ranking system today. So we're going to have some fun in this probably 30 or so minutes, correct? I think you're ready.
Yeah, I think so. Let's do this, man. We're so, like you said, this is going to be our new ranking system that we're going to do. And we came up with a clever name for it. It's called Rankings with Attitudes. Boom, boom, boom.
It's our new ranking system. So what we're going to do is our ranking system will consist of a thumb up or a thumb down. There's two dudes, which means there's two thumbs. So if the match gets 2 thumbs up from 2 dudes, hey, we thought it was amazing. If it gets one of us thought it was and one of us thought it wasn't. Or is it going to get the dreaded 2 thumbs down from the dudes? You don't want that. Our ranking system is going to consist of a thumbs up. It's got to be a B or better, kids. So no more C's get degrees. It's got to be a B or better, which means we think 80% or higher of this match. So it's got to be really, really good to get a thumbs up. So there might be some things that do get thumbs down that might upset people because we think it's like a C or worse. So that's why it's a rankings with attitudes, because we ain't messing around. You got to earn this thumbs up, bro. You got to earn it.
It's an A or B conversation, so see your way out of it.
Ooh. Yeah, right. This ain't no Orange Cassidy mid-level limp thumb. No, it's got to be thumb's got to be rock blue hard.
This is Batista type thumbs, where thumbs up or thumbs down. Yeah.
Oh, one of the greatest things ever when he's on his shoulders. Oh man,
yeah, fantastic.
Oh man, just all of it. But anyway, we're also going to review the show too. So what we'll do is we'll give our opinions, and as we go match through match, we'll end each match with our ranking. So you ready, Ryan?
Let's do it, man. Yeah. So
let's get into Backlash. I want to start before we get into the match. I have to say, I was not looking forward to this pay-per-view. Like you said, it felt like an episode of SmackDown. It didn't feel too like pay-per-view-y, but that crowd was like, hold my beer. You think that this isn't going to be a good? Oh no, we're going to make this 5-match epic card an epic event. We had mixed feelings with the crowd, but what did you think? How was the hypeness going on? It started with SmackDown.
Yeah, that crowd was hyped. I mean, SmackDown, they couldn't get a word in. They were chanting everything. They were singing Voices with Randy Orton. They were chanting "We want Roman" during the Bloodline stuff.
Yep.
I mean, Roman is a full-on babyface now, and I really don't get what he has done to be a babyface. So, other than lose the title, but like we haven't seen him or anything, but he's a full-on baby. I mean, the crowd loved him, and then apparently the crowd also got like a noise complaint on their phones. They got like noise alerts on
that.
That they had, noise complaints in proximity. There was loud, and they kept on. They just got louder and louder. So it was cool stuff, man. And some of the stuff at Backlash too, like the Jey Uso's entrance with the phones and everyone yeeting. There's like one shot of Jey with he's doing the stuff, and you can they kind of like film the back, and you can just see the entire arena doing it with their phones.
Insane,
complete genius move by the France fans to turn off the lights and put their phones on during that time. Like all we do in America is this, but they turn their phones on, and I think that makes it look even cooler. It looks like the Fireflies with Bray Wyatt with the phone, everyone having their phones out and they're just going up and down. Good stuff, man. Genius move on their part.
And that'll be probably happening now all the time because of them. Were you surprised, speaking of, that we didn't get any Bray Wyatt anything or we didn't get any surprises like that? I thought this would be the card to do it because it was weak, but it ended with a 40-minute match. To close the show. So maybe they didn't have time. I don't know, but
I don't know where they would have put it in. Like after watching that show, Like, would they have done it after the Cody Rhodes match? Would they have done it at the beginning of the show? Like, I don't know where they could have put it in that would have made sense. And, getting the crowd to be quiet was almost an impossible task. So,
Mhm.
because I feel like you would have to hear what they're talking about. And I don't know if the crowd would have quieted down. So I think it was the right decision to not do any of that Uncle Howdy stuff there.
Mhm.
But we'll see, man. I have a feeling we're going to get something at Clash at the Castle or somewhere else. So that way, France has their moment, and now Scotland will have their moment with the Uncle Howdy stuff.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. So, all right, and with the crowd as well. I did want to say, were they chanting "Fight Forever" or were they just making whatever they were saying sounding like "Fight Forever"? Because it was like "soft food," blah blah. I don't know what they were saying, but
Yeah,
it sounded like "Fight Forever," but obviously,
I
in
thought.
it's not going to sound
See,
exactly
I
like.
thought they were chanting "This is awesome" in French. This is,
Oh,
but
maybe.
I don't know because they were doing it after every 2 count. So I don't know what they were saying. It
Mhm.
was like after every 2 count, they would go 2, and then they would do their little chant. And so I don't know
Uh-huh.
if it was like what they were saying, but it was every single 2 count.
So that's what I wanted to get into, that the crowd was hyped, but I did find them annoying after a while because I was kind of like, are you watching or are you just there to take over? Like it
Yeah,
felt like after a while that it wasn't for like there a lot during Cody and AJ, they were just starting chants for the heck of it. It wasn't even really going
even
along with
during
what was happening in the ring.
even on SmackDown, I mean, that crowd just took over. They were just chanting
Uh-huh.
random things while Cody and AJ
Yeah.
were doing their thing in the ring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they were hype. Everyone was excited about it. I did find it like they kept saying the same thing over and over and
Yeah.
over. I was like, all right, let's come up with some fresh
Mhm.
chants here. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, WWE doesn't come their way often, and I think
If
they
ever.
brought it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really brought it. So I'm not going to dog them too much, but it did get a little annoying after a while.
Yeah. What was the attendance? I missed it. They had a French guy come out and say it. I
It
forget
was, I think
how.
they said it was 10,000 people or 12,000 people, but then they
Yeah,
said it
so it
was the
wasn't like a
largest gate.
huge.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so they
Maybe it's just a small arena. I mean, it's not like they got French teams out there and
Yeah, so the arena holds 12,000 people and every seat was filled. And they made it sound like, I mean, it sounded like there was 100,000 people in that building.
Mhm.
Um, but then they like I said, I think they came out and said that this is the largest gate of a WWE attended event for only 12,000. So did they
Yeah.
price gouge these tickets or something? Like they had to have. I mean, they had to have,
Oh, have you
and
not
merch.
seen the prices now?
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of Vegas. I'm
But
like, "Oof."
for Backlash, like in
Yeah.
France, like where they don't go often, you would think that they would make the tickets at least somewhat affordable
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
not triple the price of what they normally are. And I'm sure merch was crazy expensive too. But
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah,
either way, that's why it sounded so loud. Once again, those smaller arenas, there's nothing better than a 12 to 19,000 seat arena. Those ones are always more enclosed, louder than like at SoFi, where it's just sounds going to carry out. There's too many people. You're not going to
yeah,
hear it as much. So, no wonder it was so loud. But all right, well, let's get into it. Let's go with the opening match. We had the KO and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline. What'd you think? What'd you think of the match? Don't give your rating yet. We'll just
yeah.
go over through the match
So
and
I mean, this match was what it was. I like that they added the street fight element to it at the beginning.
Mhm.
I wish they would have maybe teased that a little bit, like on SmackDown or the week before
Yeah.
or something. But doing it randomly on Backlash, uh, okay, fine, whatever. The street fight, I think it needed to be a street fight. There was no way that these guys were going to play by the rules or anything.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed the match. There was a couple of times where the guys didn't sell a lot in the ring, and it was just kind of
Mhm.
annoying. There was one part where Kevin Owens he hit Tonga with the chair like 6 or 7 times in a row, and
Mhm.
then he like stopped and stomped on him, and then he went back and hit him with the chair again, and then he grabbed Tonga and put him up on, I think it was a table or something,
Okay.
and Kevin Owens got on the turnbuckle and was going to jump off the table and or jump off the turnbuckle and put him through I think it was the table. And then Tonga just immediately like got up and ran and knocked Kevin Owens off the turn. I was like, wait, are you serious right
Mhm.
now? Like just
Yeah. Yeah.
little things like that. Little things like that just kind of bugged me. Um, the crowd was hyped for it, as they were the whole night for the match. We got the debut of Tama Tonga's brother, Tanga Loa. Tanga Loa. Jesus, Tanga Loa. Tanga
Mr.
Loa
Tanga
is
Loa.
Tanga Loa is the quarterback for the Dolphins, but
Yeah.
Tanga Loa, formerly known as Camacho in WWE, he made his shocking debut, much to everyone's surprise in that arena, because I don't think the French crowd really knew who he was. I don't think
No.
I didn't know who he was, because I think we were all expecting Jacob Fatu to come out, and he didn't. And so it was kind of a underwhelming debut, in my opinion, for him. Because I think it's not that it was bad. It was just, it wasn't what we expected. So people, and then he kind of botched the referee spot. Like the referee, kind of came out of the ring on his own. You could also see somebody else under the ring with him. So I was like, oh, maybe they're doing something later tonight, or maybe this is where Jacob comes out, or maybe this is where they're gonna. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, I mean, it was a solid way to open the show. The Bloodline got the win as they needed. If the Bloodline had lost, that would have been the dumbest decision in the history of WWE. So they got a big, much needed victory over Kevin Owens. Randy Orton just completely disappeared. I don't know where he went for 2/3 of that match, but other than that, the match was fine.
He had to give AJ the rest of the steroids before he went out.
Yeah, he had to do something.
He's like, here you go, brother. You need these. Yeah, I thought there was. I thought for a street fight, it was fun. I usually hate street fights. I usually think they go too much. You're trying to pay attention to two different things at a time because everyone's wrestling at once. But I thought the spots were fun. The chair one on Tunga was brutal to watch when I think it was Randy who set up the 4 chairs and put him up on the top turnbuckle and dropped him down. It just looked like he just landed wrong. The spots. There was a time though where Kevin Owens, I think, was putting it to Tunga with the chair. And the crowd kept chanting for him to do it again. So then he did it again. And then the crowd, and I kind of felt to myself, I know that wrestlers have gotten mad at each other in the past when you do something you're not. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna hit you with the chair in this spot 3 times or whatever, or 2 times. And then the wrestler's like, okay, cool. So he knows when you go outside the box. So I was like, is this KO whispered to him, dude, I'm gonna keep hitting you. And Tunga was like, okay. But I was like, damn, poor guy. He was like, stop, he's already dead. Crowd, stop wanting more. Because they were doing I think that's what it was. And then he's like, boom. And then he went to go set up the chair and they were doing it again. He's like, shit, all right, boom. And then they were like, and he was like, freak, okay.
And that's when,
and then it was they just kept hitting him with it. I was
and
like,
that's
stop.
when he didn't sell. That's when then he put him up on a table.
Because I don't think it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I think he was just doing it because the crowd was but he was hitting him with it. It wasn't like he was getting more of the ring on those chair shots. Now he was hitting his body pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I was confused at the beginning as well when they were just scrapping and then they were trying to break it up. And I actually thought it was already a street. I was like, why are they breaking it up? And then they were like, street fight. And the rest were like, deuces. And then everyone was just gone. And then they were all just fighting. No, whatever to it. But the crowd loved it. I thought it was a super hot start. So you ready? Are we going to do our first ever rankings with attitudes? Man. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Dude number 1, how are you going to use your thumb?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I thought it was a solid way to start the show. The debut of Tanga Loa left a lot to be desired, in my opinion. And it's not, like I said, it's not that it was
not
bad.
His fault. Yeah.
It's not that it was bad. It's just, I think we were all expecting Jacob Fatu. And I don't think a lot of people knew who Tanga Loa was when he came out. But I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
All right. And that's going to make it 2 thumbs up. I got a thumbs up too, ladies and gentlemen. That means we thought it was an 80% or better of a match.
Yeah.
The criteria, like we said, it doesn't have to be a flippity-doo AEW match. It doesn't have to be a slow-paced Roman Reigns match. It just has to be entertaining, that we think that's what wrestling is. Wrestling's telling a story. Did it entertain the fans? With the crowds into it? Did the people sell it right? Did they look like they did everything they were supposed to do? And we do believe that. So our first ever is a 2 thumbs up. I like the debut. I'm really excited. And I like the fact that after the match, they went and stared down Jey Uso. And then
that was cool too.
And even Paul Heyman looked at Jey Uso like,
help me, bro.
Literally. So Bloodline versus Bloodline Wolfpack. All right. Match 2. Let's go. It is. Let's go. We got Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What you think?
There was a wrestling match going on during this, because I was just too busy looking at Tiffany Stratton the whole time. Yeah, I thought this match was uh, I'm glad I feel bad for Bayley because she's not getting the love that I think so rightfully deserves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she wasn't on any of the WrestleMania uh, promotional material. She's not on any of like the Money in the Bank promotional materials or
Mm-hmm.
any of the upcoming pay-per-views that they have. She's never at any of the post-show press conferences. Like the new women's tag team champions are. And
Mm-hmm.
um, I do feel bad for Bayley, but Tiffany Stratton is a star. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
girl, you talk about like if we do rookie of the year, it's her, hands
We're
down.
going to. Yeah.
Yeah, she is fantastic. Like she has been money since she came up to the main roster. And I think she carried this match. I really do. I think she carried this match. I think Naomi did her thing. Yeah. Bayley did her thing. Sure. But Tiffany Stratton was the star of this match. And I enjoyed the match. It was a solid outcome. Solid. I'm happy Bayley got to retain. I'm also curious to see what happens going forward because she pinned her best friend Naomi. So I'm wondering if this leads to a Naomi turn in the future. If this
Mm-hmm.
leads to maybe Naomi winning Money in the Bank and then cashing in on her best friend Bayley to pay revenge to get revenge on what Bayley
Mm-hmm.
did at Backlash. So there's a lot of cool different directions that this whole thing can go. So this match, it was what it was, but it was solid. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton was the star. That's really my key takeaway from it.
Yeah. This was a hard one for me because it looked missing in some spots, but it's hard with three girls because you always have one person kind of either not wrestling or one person helping someone do a suplex or something like that. But the match was good. I do feel bad for Bayley as well because we've been dying for her to have a championship reign. They had the perfect story with her and Io Sky, and they just flubbed it. And she's just never gotten traction. Now she's in a three-way. She needs a story. And I agree with you. I think we're getting Tiffany Stratton. I know everybody wants Chelsea Green, and I think she's a good choice. But I think Stratton's going to win the Money in the Bank, and she'll move away for right now, and she'll be able to have that for a little bit before she beats Bayley for the title, because I think that's where we're going with it. I'm excited to see Naomi and Bayley next, and I do think it's going to be a turn. I think that's where we're going with it. And finally, Bayley will have a feud. She needs something because
That's what
right
she needs.
now
Yeah, she
her
needs some
reign is
substance.
just not. She does, and she had it with Io, and they flubbed on it. So,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, all right. Rankings with attitudes. What do you got, dude? One, thumbs up, thumbs down.
All right. I think we're gonna disagree on this one slightly, but I'm gonna go thumbs down.
All
I
right.
it wasn't a bad match, but I thought the rest of the card -1 was way better.
All right. See, this is my most fringe one. I don't know which way to
Mhm.
go. I
Yeah, I'm the
thought it was
same way.
tough. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go thumbs up. So there we
Yeah.
go. Rankings with attitudes. We got 2 thumbs up, and then we've got our first thumbs down and thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We got a title match. Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. This was the thing you were talking about. The crowd was insane for it. Priest looks
Awesome.
good as a champ. Jey Uso looks good as a challenger. People say he's not over. He's totally over. It's not just a song. They wouldn't do that for anybody. What'd you think of the match, though? That only went on for 15 minutes?
Yeah, it was a short match,
Mhm.
and the crowd, we're gonna say this about every match, but the crowd was
Mhm.
hype. Every
Yeah.
time Jey Uso got offense, they chanted "Yeet," and every time Damian Priest did something, they said "No Yeet." It was
Uh-huh.
good stuff, fun stuff. Damian Priest is a fantastic heel. Jey Uso he's well worth that #1 pick that he got for Monday Night Raw after this showing. This was way better than his WrestleMania 40 match with his own brother.
Mhm.
But he got more time and he was willing to do a little bit more things. A couple of stuff in the match that this is wrestling these days, and I just have to get over it. But stop with the damn super kicks. Like I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. I know that it's wrestling now. Like you're gonna do 18 super kicks in a match, and everyone's not gonna kick out. You're gonna kick out of them, or you're not even gonna pin them, and they're not even gonna phase the opponent.
Mhm.
I remember when the super kick was the final move before
Mhm.
you went for the pin. Now it's just a move you do in a series of moves before you go for a pin. So
Mhm.
I could do without a lot of the super kicks, but this was an entertaining match. I don't know what they're doing with the Judgment Day. I didn't like the Finn Balor interference. I didn't like the JD McDonough interference. I didn't like Damian Priest getting so mad at them when they literally helped him retain. He retained the title
Mhm.
because of them. Now he may not realize it in kayfabe, fine, sure, but putting his, it was JD McDonough that put his foot on the rope when after Jey Uso hit the frog splash to keep the belt off of Jey Uso. You know, and then afterwards, after Damian Priest pinned Jey, he was like grabbing Finn Balor by the face and like getting face and like shoving him and all this stuff, saying like, I didn't need your help. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with the Judgment Day. I don't know what they're doing with Priest. Where was Dirty Dom? Why are we always teasing a breakup? What's going to happen on Raw tonight? Like, I don't know. But the match itself was fine. I thought it was a good match.
They've been teasing a breakup with the Judgment Day since they started, and then they did have a breakup, and then they reformed and after Edge, and now they're just still always breaking up. I'm over it. I also didn't like the fact that he like got rough with them, then all of a sudden was like raising his hands with them right after, like instantly. Wow, I do it myself. Yay, thank you. Come on, raise your hands, Judgment Day. Yay. I'm like, what the fudge is happening? I'm assuming it's because he's going to keep saying he can just do it himself. They're finally probably against Drew McIntyre at Clash, and then he's going to not come out to help him, or they're going to come out and be like, no, you don't need our help. And then he's going to lose. So they can do like I told you so. I'm assuming that's where they're going with this. So he's not going to be a long champion, which is sad because he's doing really well.
Yeah.
I'm liking him more than Cody right now. So
I'm happy he actually got to retain the belt. I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried when everything that happened with Monday Night Raw, where he's like, I don't need you guys, you need me, stay out of my business. I was kind of worried he was going to lose because they didn't come out and help him. And then he'd be mad that they didn't come out. Where were you? What were you doing? So I'm happy that he got to retain the belt. It was the right decision. I'm wondering if Finn Balor is going to be winning Money in the Bank and he cashes in on Priest, thus ending the Judgment Day for good. So I could see them going that way.
We'll see. Interesting stuff, I guess. All right, rankings with attitudes. Dude 1, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
All right.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up for the decision.
All right, now we finally hit all 3. I'm doing thumbs down. I didn't like it. And you know what's funny? I don't know if I like Jey Uso as a solo star. I don't know one Jey Uso solo match minus Roman that I have enjoyed since he's become Yeet Jey Uso. I just feel like he has miss after miss. I don't know if he was just a tag team dude. I like Jey Usos. I put him in my top 5 tag teams of all time and got ridiculed. I'm still getting ridiculed to this day. People still finding that and yelling at me about it. But I love me some Usos. I don't know. Jay's just not clicking for me yet as a solo star since he became Yeet. Him and Roman's matches are classics, but you're with Roman Reigns. So, but him and Jimmy and him and Damian, it wasn't bad. Once again, it's got to be a B or higher. I just don't think it was a B-worthy match. So, right.
I kind of feel that way too. That's why I don't think he should be winning singles titles anytime soon. He's kind of, who he reminds me of a lot is LA Knight. LA Knight is over because, and Yeet, like they're the exact same character. We have a little bit more of a backstory with Jey Uso because he was in the Bloodline and he turned but ever since he became a solo star, he's been doing the yeet, and he's going after all these championships. He's not winning. I think he needs like a mid-card type, which is what we say about LA Knight. He needs a mid-card championship run before he goes after another big prize. So,
yeah, for sure. I'm waiting for that yeet, yeet.
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming we're gonna get like a what type of thing with them too one day.
We'll see. Yeah, one of these days.
It's gonna make my ears bleed. All right, let's get into it. We have the tag team women's championship match. Like I said, this was the most predictable card ever. Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. What'd you think? Right people win. What's going on?
Yeah, I think the right team won. I am curious what happens with Damage Control going forward with, Dakota Kai and everybody else there. But Jade and Bianca, Bianca was the number 1 draft pick to Monday Night Raw, or to SmackDown rather, overall. And so I think they had to put gold on her. Jade Cargill is like their next big thing. And we're getting sprinkles of what Jade Cargill can do in the ring. We're not seeing her for long periods of time, but they had to win this match. It's only fitting that they won this match. Get more gold on Bianca. give them something to do away from the women's championship picture, because and I think this elevates the women's tag team division even more. So I think it was the right decision. The match itself was meh, in my opinion. There was a lot of missed spots. There was one part where Kairi Sane, the referee, I don't know if they, and this is when the crowd really can be a detriment sometimes, but I don't know if they couldn't hear in the ring, but there was like, you could see the referee trying to tell Kairi Sane something. And I don't know if it was like, hey, you're not the legal woman. You're not legal. You're not supposed to be. She kept like yelling something at Kairi, and Kairi just kept going. And I think that
He did
kind
a
of,
pin one time where they wouldn't allow it. And
yeah,
they were confused. She was like, you got to move.
yeah,
And
I
they had
think
to
that's
go
what
and
it
like
was.
re-tag team. Yeah. She went for a
Yeah, and
pin.
I think that threw off a lot of the match. I think, Bianca looked a little, I mean, Bianca saved it, but Jade Cargill was in the ring, and she's never had to deal with this situation before, so she looked a little perplexed at it. They had to like reset everything. There was a couple of moves that Jade didn't take very well that I was a little concerned about. It was probably not her best effort in this match, probably not her best work, but she's still learning, she's still growing and everything. But yeah, right outcome. Match was kind of mediocre in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Asuka and Sane, the Kabuki Warriors have been done for a while. They needed to give up those belts. And Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, no matter what this match was, they look like stars. They present themselves like stars. Their big moves the only worry I have with them is kind of like when it was like the Brothers of Destruction, in a sense of like, who's going to beat them? So now we have these two girls as champions. They deserve it. They need it. Gives them something to do. Who are you going to throw their way that you're going to be like, that's believable? And I mean, the fun thing is that now they get to travel. So I can't wait to see them on NXT. I can't wait to see them on Raw and SmackDown and champ. But who is going to be like Piper Niven and Chelsea Green? Like, who are you going to put against these girls that you're thinking like, all right, because they're not just, two beautiful. These are two big, talented, powerful, strong females, bro. They're gonna beat most of the men. Like, I don't see how DIY beats them. So I mean, these are like these two
the
girls.
Usos aren't beating them.
No, heck no. These girls are like it. But here's the thing, too. That match, I don't remember a match, and I'm no expert. I've never wrestled in a ring, so I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say whose fault it was or what happened. But the whole match felt off. I don't know if it was the ref, the noise, all the women, maybe they just weren't communicating correctly. I've never seen Jade Cargill look lost, and I've always defended that that's not who she is, that she's not as, she's overcome the greenness. She looked like there was some times where it was even looked like Zayn was like telling her, like, get down, like I need to kick you. And they were just like staring at each other. And then Jade was like, oh, like took a kick. And it looked like they were trying to, like, I don't know if Jade was the lost one and she was, I have no idea, but it just looked, it was sloppy. That I've never seen a match stop so many times where it looked like they had no idea what their next move was. And you don't see that in AEW, any type of wrestling at this level. So it was weird. I don't know what was going on. I'm not an expert to blame. I'm not Bully Ray. I'm not going to dissect it because that's not my place. It just looked and felt off as a fan watching.
And yeah, and maybe, I mean, English is not the first language of either Asuka or Kairi Sane. And maybe with that combined with the crowd noise, maybe Jade just didn't understand what she was saying. And the referee, I mean, you could tell even when the ref was yelling at her that she's not the legal woman, Jade just looked out of it. She looked confused. And I don't know, again, maybe she just couldn't hear him. Maybe she's like, I see your lips moving, but I can't hear what you're saying because of the volume.
Yeah. All right. So with that said, I think I know where this ranking with attitudes is going. So let's see.
Yeah.
Dude 1, what's your thumb say?
Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
And dude 2, thumbs down. So now we have our first double thumbs down. We're accomplishing everything today. Remarkable. All right, let's see how we do in the main event. We got you're good. I'll take over. We got Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles in a match that people didn't think was hyped enough, didn't think belonged. People were anti it. They gave them almost 40 minutes. The crowd was fully freaking invested in it. They gave us all sorts of whirlwinds. What you think of this match, Cody versus AJ?
The match was great. I have a couple of minor complaints, but the match itself, I mean, this was one of the better Cody matches I've seen in a long, long time. And I know he's been working with Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is a different type of wrestler in the ring compared to AJ Styles. And I know he's worked with, Drew McIntyre a bunch. He's worked with the Judgment Day a bunch, but this was definitely one of the better Cody matches I've seen since he's been back in the WWE. It reminded me a lot of his early Seth Rollins matches when he first came back. But I mean, it was entertaining from start to finish. It was a solid effort, and kudos to AJ Styles, man. I mean, at his age, still doing the things that he's doing. It was an entertaining match. I had a problem at one spot where Cody Rhodes kicked out at one after, I can't remember the name of the move, but and then he kicked out of the I can't remember the name of the Burning Hammer. That's what they call it. A beautiful move from AJ Styles, and he kicks out at one. And I feel like we saw this happen with Takeshita and Will Ospreay at AEW Revolution. I saw it in person, and we kind of dogged on it a little bit. Like, come on, like, let's work on your selling, you guys. And then immediately after he kicked out at one, he gets up and starts like doing his Cody hulking up, and the crowd's chanting. They're getting amped for it, and then after that, it was Cody's match to win the rest of the way, and Cody's match to lose rather the rest of the way. So that was my only complaint. I mean, 35 minutes is a long time, and they made every minute worth it. It was great stuff. There was no dull periods. There was no time like the previous match where they had to reset things or they looked lost. I mean, these guys are proven veterans. They know what they're doing out there, but yeah, great match. Just a couple of minor complaints about, Ken kicking out of the Burning Hammer. That really kind of bugged me a little bit.
Well, that's just like the new now too in pay-per-views, AEW, Dynamites, everything. It's just like finishers, big moves. They don't mean crap anymore. They're kicking out at one. They kick out at three finishers. They kick out. I don't get it. I don't like it. I'm an old school wrestling fan. When it was called a finisher for a reason. So it's because you were getting finished. The only time finishers ever didn't get kicked out or ever got kicked out of was literally WrestleMania. Now it's all the time. Like I said, AEW does it on Dynamites like it's, handing out free candy. It's insane to me. I don't like it, but I thought this was Cody's best match in a long time. And I do think it's because he kind of wrestled to his real American Nightmare type self. It was that type of match with AJ minus, bleeding all over the place, but it was a more of that type of vibe, and that's what I liked about it. I loved Cody in AEW and in New Japan more so than I did when he was first running WWE, and since he's come back, he started that way with Seth, and then he's faded into the John Cena, Cody Rhodes, which I don't like a lot, and I'm kind of anti, but to all the haters out there who keep saying that Cody is boring and doing the same things and he's not over, and I see people saying he needs to turn heel and this, listen to that crowd. You're insane. I get that they chanted, we want Roman, but that dude is over.
That wasn't a dig at Cody.
They were straight singing his song they sang his entire song. That never happens. These people are into Cody. They are shoving him down our throats for a reason because he has that John Cena vibe. It's who they made him. I never thought in a million years that would happen. When he signed with Cody, when Cody signed back to WWE, I was like, good move. He ain't gonna be that dude. And instantly there, he has been that dude. So it worked, and they know what they're doing with it. And so keep it trucking. And AJ did his part. So props to AJ.
Yeah. And it does make me wonder too, is this the beginning of a series of matches between these guys? I don't know how they can top this, but give me more. I mean, this was awesome. 35 minutes didn't even feel long enough for these guys to go. I mean, it was it's not like they were hitting the same moves. And the one difference between Cody and John Cena, in my opinion, is John Cena he was known for the 5 moves of doom. Cody has a lot more in his arsenal than John Cena ever did. And I think, he's had to, he had a bunch of matches with Brock Lesnar, so he has to work to Brock Lesnar's style. And then he had a bunch of matches with the Judgment Day, and they're all different styles. Then he had, the stuff with Roman, and he's a completely different style. So I think this was an actual match where it wasn't a lot of story or a lot of build going into it. He could just wrestle and be Cody Rhodes, like you said. And I think we got to see a lot more of what Cody has in his arsenal than what we've seen before in the WWE.
I agree. All right. It's our last of the day. Rankings with attitudes. Dude 1. What do you give it?
Thumbs up. It's giving it a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm giving it a thumbs up.
He did the gladiator. He was
yeah.
like, this out.
Are you not entertained? No, it was a good match. It was a good match. Just stop with the AEW stuff. It was too AEW like for me with the kicking out and the no selling. But other than that, it was a good match.
You're gonna get that now because I think the whole like we're the best wrestle is probably teeing off a few wrestlers, and maybe that's what they're gonna try to do now. I feel like we're gonna get to there to where these guys are gonna want more time and have more of a Ospreay type match that they know they can have. We'll see when Seth comes back, but I give it a thumbs up as well. Great night, great way to end the night. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's our first ever rankings with attitudes, huh? We're going to keep these. We're going to save these. We're going to post them somehow. We're trying to get a web page. We're going to have a whole ranking system. So we'll have every pay-per-view and what dude 1 and dude 2 ranked them as. We're going to keep this going. Every pay-per-view, every PLE, we're going to be doing our heart right now. We'll see how big this thing gets, and then we can start doing matches on Raw and SmackDown and so on. But right now, just at the pay-per-views and the PLEs, just the big times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And thumbs up to that France crowd. I think they blew Puerto Rico out of the water from last year, and that crowd was fantastic at Puerto Rico. You know, but that crowd from start to finish, there was not a quiet moment. So kudos to them, and curious to see what happens now with Money in the Bank. I mean, not Money in the Bank, but also King and Queen of the Ring. There's a lot of fun stuff ahead with WWE.
I don't know there's like 7 people that can win this King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. But we're starting off with Sheamus and Gunther. So we all know Sheamus isn't winning.
Yeah. Unfortunately, unless they do like a wild card spot or something, he gets back in. But yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
The Raw tonight's going to be stacked with all the King and Queen of the Ring matches that they have. So,
and I'm glad it's making it feel special. I don't know why the King of the Ring, and Triple H should think it's special. That's how he almost lost his career, and that's where he then rejuvenated his career, was off King of the Ring. Like we said, back in the days, you won King of the Ring, you got a title match at SummerSlam, you were the king, that was like your push. That was like you were the next breakout star, and sometimes it worked, Austin and I don't know, amongst that Triple H and King Booker and so on, Kurt Angle, Edge. And sometimes it didn't, where you thought the guy was going to be a star, like badass Billy Gunn. Mr. Ass was so over. They gave him that and it just didn't work. Mabel, it just didn't work. Like, so some people do win it and it doesn't do the career that they're hoping for, but I do like that they're trying to push it again. So not like last time where poor Selena and Xavier Woods. They were just like, all right, you guys are done.
Roman Reigns destroyed Xavier Woods' crown. And that was it.
That's right. I forgot about that. Oh, man. That is right. So sad. So sad. But anyway, all right. Thank you for tuning in to Two Dudes with Attitudes, our Backlash review and our first ever Rankings with Attitudes edition. We're glad you guys tuned in. I'm seeing our reviews our views are going way up again, so that's good. We went up a little bit higher in our following, so keep it up. If you want to check me out, I'm at HBD Denton on everything. TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and everywhere else. So if you like hearing just me every once in a while, tune into that. As always, I'm with the man, the possible King of the Ring winner, over here.
Who knows, man? What are you talking about, Sheamus or Sammy? But either one.
Sheamus. Yeah. Is Sammy in it?
No, but
I don't think so. Yeah.
Sheamus isn't. He won't be in it after tonight either. But
no, he's not.
But yeah, go. This is Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow us on all the social media platforms at Two Dudes with Attitudes on TikTok, at Two Dudes PC on X. Go follow me on all the individual social platforms as well. Yeah, we're blowing up, man. And if you guys like this and you want to see more stuff like it, why don't you leave us a thumbs up by liking this video?
Thank you.
Don't dislike it, but just like it. We want thumbs up, not thumbs downs. But yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this, or if you want to give us a list of things to rank, we don't have to just do PLEs. We can do old school PLEs, and we can rank, King of the Ring 2000, King of the Ring 2001.
Watch-alongs. That's
good. Something like that. So we can. There's all kinds of ideas spinning in our heads right now. So. Let us know in the comments what you want to see more of. And, this is going to be our year, man. We're blowing up, and, 2024, year of the dudes. Say it week in and week out.
Yes, sir. Two dudes Wolfpack.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'. Two dudes with attitude.